I applied to join this organization and was accepted. And I was offered to join at the highest level of support, which, if you read this article, you know that's $8,000 a month, which is pretty fucking significant. Now, I do not engage in this creator versus creator drama thing. I don't do reaction videos. So this video might be a little different from what you're used to seeing from me. For those of you who don't already follow me, my name is Chris Goldsmith, former United States Army Sergeant, founder of Task Force Butler Institute and Veterans Fighting Fascism. These are nonprofits that train veterans to conduct open source intelligence research to hold extremists accountable for things like racist violence. We conduct investigations, we do infiltrations of extremist organizations, we gather evidence of criminality and provide it both to victims and to law enforcement so that we can hold these people legally accountable. And as part of this work, outside of the nonprofit, I am a threat intelligence analyst. I am someone who goes into the darkest places of the internet so that I can find out what criminals or soon-to-be criminals are planning to do or doing. And I provide warning to potential victims so that they can keep themselves safe, and evidence to law enforcement so that those victims can find justice. One of the beneficiaries of my work, someone who I've done research to support, is Taylor Lorenz. I am one of the people who has been, and I'm not anymore, but has been responsible for gathering intelligence about threats to Taylor Lorenz's life or well-being, and for working with her former employers and their intelligence and security staff, working with law enforcement, and working with platforms and internet servicers to keep that person safe. And I have watched, from the point of view of a threat intelligence analyst, Taylor Lorenz benefit from being protected by some of the best people in the field, and also benefiting from, as she should, working for a major journalistic institution in the past, benefiting from having the protection of a massive institution and the best money that lawyers can buy. And it is for that reason that I am beyond upset to see Taylor Lorenz promoting a false narrative that these creators, in a program that I applied for, full disclosure, and was accepted into, to see her smearing these creators, these independent creators, and then mocking them for talking about how their work puts them in danger. I know, because the reports that I have written that have gone on to warn Taylor Lorenz about the dangers that she faces, I know that she knows what kind of dangers exist out there for people in the public. And to see Taylor Lorenz mock a black woman, women of color, trans women, and acting as if them putting their faces and their names out in the public in a political space or in a journalistic or news-related space, as if they don't face any danger, I'm just at a loss for words. Like, I don't know what to say. I am just angry, but not surprised. Now, one of the reasons that I wanted to join Chorus is because I have learned that hunting Nazis does not pay well. In fact, it most often does not pay at all. It doesn't matter that my organization, a bunch of volunteers, has helped to do things like secure $3 million in lawsuits and damages against a neo-Nazi organization and its founder. It doesn't matter that we've secured felony convictions for neo-Nazis, put a bunch of them behind bars. We've, through legal means, identified a bunch of those masked assholes who jump out of the back of U-Hauls so that they can be held accountable legally. Because for years, Democratic fucking donors or progressive donors or liberal or pro-democracy donors, these foundations, these fucking billionaires, have just been like, fuck it, you can all starve. All you actual pro-democracy activists, all of you people in the research field, in the journalistic field, all of the content creators, you can all fucking starve. It wasn't until November of last year that some of these motherfuckers figured out, like, oh, maybe we should invest in the people who are actually fighting for democracy. So knowing that the tide was changing, I made a decision earlier this year with a bunch of guys, a bunch of dudes from White Dudes for Harris, which, yes, supported a Democrat for president, who was running against a fucking racist fascist. For those fucking leftists who want to pretend we didn't have one or two options, like, that's it. It was either a fascist or a Democrat. Anyway, I digress. We started a podcast so that we could get more men who look like me involved in the right side of politics. And that's called the Find Out Podcast. And objectively, our launch went really fucking well. In fact, we immediately jumped into the top 1% of podcasts globally. And we've held on to that. We've continued to be objectively successful. But since launching this podcast in March, I have poured thousands of dollars into it to keep it viable, to pay for things like production, to build a website, to come up with the design for the podcast logo. So when the opportunity arose to join Chorus to potentially get some financial support for this type of work, when it opened up, I jumped on it. And the only reason that I turned it down is because my daughter was born right around the time that the first cohort began training. And knowing that I couldn't overcommit myself, I wanted to do the right thing. So I deferred my acceptance. So in the first 3 months of being a parent, this creator thing has kept money pretty tight. Now, I didn't sign any contract because I didn't join, but a fair number of my friends did. And I've been in the loop the whole time here. So I can assure you that Taylor Lorenz's framing about this being like a DNC plant thing is just absolute bullshit. I know that this was very long and this was like inside baseball drama, whatever you want to call it. But the only reason that I thought that I should make this video is, again, because I saw Taylor Lorenz like dismissing or making fun of these creators, these women of color, trans women, for describing what they do as dangerous. When I am one of the people who, not for a while, but has been paid to protect her, Taylor Lorenz, from those same exact threats.